Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Now, starting off today with this rumour about Henrikh Ziyech of Ajax. Arsenal heavily linked with him today. Remember, we were heavily linked with him right throughout the summer. There were a lot of Arsenal fans who really wanted us to get this one over the line. Remember last season in the Champions League in particular, he was a revelation, absolutely brilliant. And he started off this season in pretty decent form as well. Scored 6 goals and 12 assists in 17 league games over there in the Eredivisie. And the 26-year-old Moroccan being linked with Arsenal today. Now, Ajax are said to be willing to cash in on him this January. However, they want upwards of £40 million. A lot of money. But that's their asking price if they are to let Henrikh Ziyech go this January. Remember, they only paid £10 million for him when they bought him from FC 20 in 2016. So that would represent a pretty handy profit of over £30 million. And they would have got a lot out of him. Remember, he was one of the stars of their Champions League run last season. Surprising that they'd be willing to let him go in January, but listen, clubs like Ajax, obviously they don't have the big TV money and stuff like that teams in the Premier League have. And when huge offers come in, they are willing to take it. Now, of course, it's not just Arsenal who are interested in Ziyech. There's a host of other teams as well. Tottenham said to be really interested. Jose Mourinho would like to bring him in over there at Tottenham. But Arteta is said to be an admirer of Henrikh Ziyech. Again, whether this is the type of signing Arsenal will be looking to do in January, when I don't think Arsenal are looking to splash loads of money. There's other priorities. Remember, he's a player who can play out wide as well as centrally. We already have that with guys like Pepe, and as I was saying the other day, there's guys like Saka coming through, Reece Nelson. That would stunt their growth as well. However, lots of outlets linking us with Henrikh Ziyech today. I don't see this as a likely sign-in, not in January anyway, but Ajax willing to sell him. What about one of our players that we could be willing to sell? And that is Henrikh Mkhitaryan. Lots of rumours about him today. Now, Mkhitaryan, of course, is on a season-long loan at the moment with Roma. He's done okay there. He's had a bit of quite a few injury problems there. Said to be really loving his time there. He'd done an interview where he said that, you know, he really feels at home there, really enjoying his football. Obviously, didn't seem like he was enjoying his football at Arsenal, especially under Unai Emery. And Arsenal said to be willing to sell Henrikh Mkhitaryan, would be willing to sell him this January as well. However, the amount of money that Roma have offered to make this permanent move, also are looking at it as derisory. £8.5 million. That is what Roma are offering. I mean, I know Mkhitaryan's 30, but that is a ridiculously low amount of money, and Arsenal have swiftly rejected that. They're going to want a lot more money than that. We'll be able to get a lot more money than that. Even if they offered him up to, say, maybe a Premier League team, or, you know, Mkhitaryan will go for more money than that, even though he is 30. Not loads more money, but listen, you've got to be looking at 15 to 20 million for somebody of Henrikh Mkhitaryan's stature. And that has been swiftly rejected by Arsenal. Although the rumours is that they are willing to sell him this January if they get the right amount of money. So we'll have to watch this space to see how that one develops. And then there's Shkodran Mustafi. Could he be leaving this January? The rumours are that Arteta is ready to offload the German. Hasn't worked out for him at all. Remember, we paid £35 million for him. A lot of money we paid for and invested in Shkodran Mustafi, but it's just not worked out for him at all. Arsenal said to be willing to sell him this January. That's even despite the fact that they've got the injury to Callum Chambers, and Callum Chambers is going to be out for the rest of the season. Arsenal's still willing to sell him. Of course, Mustafi has been heavily criticised down the years, heavily criticised recently as well. After that defeat against Chelsea, the second goal, I remember Ian Wright on Match of the Day having a right go at Mustafi and urging Arteta to sell him, just saying that, listen, it can't be coached into him no more. He's an experienced player. He just makes these mistakes. And we've seen that with Mustafi down the years. Good performances sometimes, but then, he's the sort of player I've described him of. You can watch him for a game and for 80 minutes, he's doing everything right. But then he just switches off for 5-10 minutes and that can cost you in a game. And Arsenal will need an upgrade on Mustafi if they are to improve their defence, and they may be willing to sell him. No sort of sounds on what sort of fee Arsenal would be looking for. I know originally in the summer they were looking for around about £20 million, and nobody was willing to pay that. They're probably going to have to lower their asking fee if they are to get rid of Mustafi. But Mustafi said to be a player that Arsenal would like to offload this January. Now, there's a defender from Juventus, Meri Demiral. I spoke about him a couple of days ago. He's only 21, Turkish international, very, very highly rated, but he hasn't really been getting a lot of game time at Juventus. They bought him for Sassuolo in the summer, and he's, as I said, very highly rated, but not really been, getting the time that he would like to get. Now, Arsenal, apparently, this is what the rumours are saying, it's not confirmed, had a bid of £25.5 million rejected by Juventus earlier on in the week. Juventus said that he's not for sale. But there's a lot of rumours going around that Leicester now have moved ahead of Arsenal in a bid to try and get Demiral done. And they were asking Brendan Rodgers yesterday, they were questioning him about Demiral and saying, is it a player that Leicester are looking to bring in the January transfer window? And he neither confirmed or denied it. And that's always a sign that they are interested. Of course, at Leicester, they've got Ziyech as well, who's also a Turkish international. Him and Demiral played together for Turkey. They've been described as the Turkish Wall. I suppose Rodgers are looking at it and say, Ziyech's already settled in at Leicester. Let's try and get Demiral in. So also, if they are to try and get that deal done, are going to face some stiff competition from Leicester. And remember, at the moment, Leicester are above us. They're looking like they could have Champions League football next season. And of course, Ziyech could be an important factor in tempting his fellow Turkish player over there. But again, it's going to be interesting with that one, because will Juventus keep hold of Demiral or will they sell him? Of course, they've got some great, centre-backs there, Chiellini, Bonucci, Regani, they could, it's not like us. They could, let one player go because they've got so many good centre-backs. And then there's Kalidou. This is the craziest rumour I heard today. And it's not even directly for Arsenal, right? Kalidou Koulibaly, who everybody rates. A lot of people say it's between him and Van Dijk as the best centre-back in the world right now. Koulibaly, of course, of Napoli, now 28. It's a rumour today that I saw that West Ham are in for Kalidou Koulibaly. Now, of course, if West Ham are in for him, Arsenal got to go in for him. I mean, Arsenal have been linked with him forever. And they've been linked with him even this January transfer window. But how real those links are, practically every club in Europe's linked with Kalidou Koulibaly. But Napoli still, said to be holding out for a fee of upwards towards £100 million, which is a lot of money. But obviously, the market, ever since Van Dijk went for, 75 million, Harry Maguire, 80 million, you can't blame them. They're looking at it and say, well, we think he's better than those two. We want even more money. Or it's going to have to be something around that region. Now, for me, Arsenal, that's the type of player we need. I just look at it, I think 28, is he too old to pay that sort of money for? But he's absolute quality. I remember seeing him when Napoli played Liverpool. He was absolutely solid, he was. He really, really was. The way he read the game, his pace, sort of guy that would just instantly improve your defence, a bit like what Van Dijk did. And if Arsenal are going to want to fix this defensive problem at centre-back, you buy a player like that, you can fix it. But listen, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but maybe something that Arsenal need to seriously look at in the summer. But West Ham imagine if West Ham got Koulibaly ahead of us. Oh my God, I can't. Nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I said on yesterday's show that I'm going to read out some of your comments. There's been loads and loads and loads of them. I really appreciate that. I'm going to start off with this one, right? YouTube for life, right? He said, he put here, he goes, Robbie, and by the way, I got my laptop here, right? He goes, Robbie, every week, I'm going to put a poll in it today. All right, you're right, mate. I did say yesterday I was going to put a poll up for the Boateng thing, and I did completely forgot. I have to hold my hands up and just admit it. I'm really sorry for not putting that poll in, right? So, YouTube for life, well done for you for spotting that. But yeah, I'm gonna get sharper with that. I apologise, yeah. Deng Peter says, Boateng was one of the best until Messi turned him over in the 2015 Champions League semi-final. With, of course, the links linking us to Boateng. And Kizzy69 says, Boateng is old, inconsistent, injury-prone, and past it. He's going to take his last big paycheck and chill. Quite a lot of you reflecting that and saying that when talking about Boateng, of course, who's been linked with Arsenal. And I'll do this one finally. This was where Professor Feathers, he says, I rated Aarons from the start of the season. That's Max Aarons. He said he's a complete fullback. And again, Arsenal being linked with Max Aarons of Norwich City as maybe a replacement for Bellerin if Bellerin don't get back. It'll be interesting to see if Bellerin's in the team tomorrow when we take on Leeds United. Very interesting to see because Bellerin just had injury after injury. Is he going to come back to the old Bellerin? It's going to be really interesting to see. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. We will be back tomorrow as usual. We're here every day of the month with Transfer Daily. Make sure you keep it locked here. Also, don't forget to subscribe to AFTV and check out all of our other shows. The podcast is out at the moment. All Guns Blazing podcast. We really do a deep dive into how Arteta's been doing so far. The women's football show. Check out the preview. And they're actually going to be, Pippa's going to be actually at the game today. Birmingham City taking on Arsenal ladies. She will be there, so look out for some content coming from her later on as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.